Thank you very much. That was lovely. We always get quite embarrassed by introductions when people ask us, okay, what should we say about you? We just say, we're the Stiff Gins. Makes it a little bit easier. Before we begin, we'd like to pay our respects to the traditional custodians. We're honoured to be on their land. We live here in a little place called Marrickville. And this first song, we're going to sing you a song, and it's about in my language, and we're learning our languages. My people were Wiradjuri, Yorta Yorta, Nardi's, Gamilaroi, Yularoi. And while learning our languages, we wanted it to make a connection to where we feel we belong. And my place is in the Riverina, a little town called Narandra. And it's on the banks of the Murrumbidgee. So this song is in Wiradjuri, and it's about being daughters, being sisters, and singing for you. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. Celebrities, eh? Wait till I tell my mum. She probably won't believe us.
Nardi wanted to say it when we came in the car park to the security guard.
Yes, then they might have asked for proof and that would have been awkward.
How do you prove you're a celebrity?
I think if you got to, you're not.
I think you're right.
This song we're going to sing now is called Gogo, and Kaleena talked about learning our languages, and we're lucky that our mobs, in the past, our languages have been documented. So we've got primary school kids and preschool kids back in Narandra and Walgett and the surrounding areas who are learning Gamilaroi and learning Wiradjuri. So we're a lucky New South Wales mob that's been documented, that now our people can start teaching each other our grandparents' language. And I found this word, gogo, down in Canberra. I was looking for any songs that were Yuwalari songs, and they said, we've got one. And they gave me a copy of that, and they said, oh, there's also some transcripts of an old uncle who's trying to remember word lists and remember sentences, and he's recording them. and they sent me that tune. I was listening to it, and he was talking about gogo, and this is the word in Gamilaroi country, 10 hours northwest of Sydney, that in the old days, the old fellas used to replace when somebody passed away. So instead of using their name, they would say gogo. And when I learnt that, this was about 4 or 5 years ago, a young Gamilaroi man came off his bike down in Redfern from Walgett. And Ashley mentioned earlier that we met in Redfern, and Stiff Gins was born in Redfern. We went to TAFE there, and we started out, our first gig was at Redfern Oval, Redfern Park. So we have really strong connections and links to that place. And this young man fell off a bike in Redfern, and there was a lot of anger and hurt and confusion surrounding his death. And my father went to his funeral up in Walgett, and I went to a memorial march in Redfern on the same day. And afterwards I asked him how the funeral went, and he said the weirdest thing happened. It rained all night, and 10 o'clock that next day the rain stopped. And I said the reverse happened down home in Sydney, that we did our memorial march, walked past the place where he came off his bike to the police station, back down the block, went home, and it started to rain. And I didn't know that young man, but I know that in two places 500 miles apart he brought rain, and the rain brings life. So we sing this song Gogo to celebrate life and the rain that he brought and the life that sprung from that rain. So I hopped on a train to gather with those who were feeling the same. The procession began, led by his countrymen. We walked numb, hand in hand, while they laid that broken body in his own land. Seems we never get together these days, but to mourn the souls of those who pass away. And only hours before there was more than bricks and glass lying broken on the floor. Another war on TV, this one happening round the corner from me. Another boy, another bike, and another week of those sad lines. And the drought he broke that day, he ran miles away, soaking in under skin. And the flooding from the skies in those last goodbyes reminded us of life again. Left with this burden to bear, endless years of wrongs to repair. His name will now be called no more, and in its place go. New name born as another dies, a sorry change in a sorry time. And the drought he broke that day, he ran miles away, soaking in under skin. And the flooding from the skies, those last goodbyes reminded us of life again. A smile, laugh with his face so young, a cry so few, the days to share, to celebrate. And as the rains come down, bringing new life to parched ground, oh, I will always think upon that mother and her only son, and I do thank that young man who brought the rains of life again and again and again. And the drought he broke that day, ran miles away, soaking in an underskin. And the flood from the skies in our last goodbyes reminded us of new life, renewing life, renewing life, renewing life, renewing life again. So I hopped on a train. We both went home again.
Thank you. So our group has been around for 11 years, and we started at TAFE. And it's quite a bizarre story because I'd finished high school, and I remember sitting there, just finished doing my HSC, and I wanted to do music, and it's very hard to find a very casual kind of place to do music. I didn't want to go to the con or anything, nothing so disciplined. And I remember sitting there at TAFE, and this girl sat next to me, and she looked really cool, and I'm from Campbelltown. And I was just kind of buried my nose in my book, and I really wanted to talk to this person, and but I totally ignored her and turned the other way. But who would have thought 11 years later? And we want to tell everybody how fortunate we really are, because we just cannot believe our lives sometimes. In that 11 years, we've been able to travel all over the world in the most amazing places. We went to just reminding me here, we were fortunate enough to sing for I think it was the 20th anniversary of Australian archaeology at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. So we're singing there among the huge statues in the Egyptian Museum with all these amazing archaeologists, and they got to take us on a tour of a tomb that nobody is allowed to go into, but we did. And you sit there and you're standing, you're actually walking down a tomb, and I'm a bit scared because I thought my asthma would play up, but I'm standing there and all I can think is, what am I doing here? I'm from Marrickville. And I think we've just had and another trip we had was we went to East Africa, and we got bogged in the middle of the night in the Serengeti. And you don't think of these things when it started to rain, there was a muddy road. We were staying with the Maasai in the eco camp, and they were waiting for us, bless them, because they had meals ready. But we got bogged, and when you're here in Australia, if you get bogged, you get immediately out of the car and start to push. And I kept on hearing them talk about these things called jiggers, all these little parasites that get into your feet. I know it sounds ridiculous, but they were there. So the only thing I really cared about was getting out in the rain and making sure that my feet didn't get jiggers. So stupid. So we got out and we all started to push. Didn't think about it. In the middle of the dark, can't see anything from this side, from where Nardi. And then you hear our African guide say, "Everybody, please get back in the car. This is a very dangerous place." And then we realised, oh my gosh, we're in Africa. Get in the damn car. And a few seconds later, the hyenas came out, and then the big black snake, and I just thought, what are we doing here? But it just reminded me, I was looking at the amazing art over there, and I thought we get to sing the most amazing places and bizarre places sometimes. We sung in front of a tree. There was nobody watching, it was just a tree. It was really quite bizarre. But in that amazing life, that 11 years, we've realised that we have a connection with our rivers and fresh water as freshwater people. And this song isn't about it's diamonds. Yep. About my love of water, even though I'm a very bad swimmer. But I'd rather just sit on the beach down at the beach or on the banks of the river. It's called Diamonds on the Water. monster-and mother, guided by the moon. She's power. And even before I see her as I'm walking to the shore, standing on the water's edge like a million times before. Cold and deep as how I see her, ready to swallow me whole. I only ever get my ankles wet, no further will I go. What danger lies beneath to grab and pull me down? This uncontrollable fear to which I am bound. But I love it when I'm sitting on warm sand, as the sun makes diamonds on the water. I hope she doesn't mind, I feel safer on dry land. And here I can sit and watch diamonds on the water. They come from near and far, in all seasons, the ties that bind them for any reason. I hold in all those souls who went and not afraid, swimming so far out, riding the waves. With respect to lakes and rivers, the oceans and seas, hoping that the future's clean and bright, pure and free. Windy mornings, rainy days, clear blue skies. Here's to hoping that the seas never die. 'Cause I love it when I'm sitting on warm sand, as the sun makes diamonds on the water. I hope she doesn't mind, I feel safer on dry land. And here I can sit and watch diamonds on the water. There'll always be days you wanna float away. There'll always be days you wanna float away. And I love it when I'm sitting on warm sand, as the sun makes diamonds on the water. I hope she doesn't mind, I feel safer on dry land. And here I can sit and watch diamonds on the water. And I love it when I'm sitting on warm sand, as the sun makes diamonds on the water. I hope she doesn't mind, I feel safer on dry land. And here I can sit and watch diamonds on the water.
We sort of got to stop ourselves from talking, because we'd talk more than we sang if we had a chance.
And sometimes we've had to, because we had a gig once where we went for 2 45-minute sets and we only had 4 songs. We really wanted the money.
Having said that, now I've got to give you a little bit of background to this song. It's called Belong. And talking about when we were learning language, the first things you learn, it's probably in all languages, words for mother and father and sister and brother, so all our family words. And I was learning that at the same time that my auntie told me a story. And my father is one of 11 kids. And she said our youngest uncle, Uncle Jay, who lived with my nan all her life till she passed away, he was walking uptown in Walgett and someone said, "Oh, are you going to the funeral in Lightning Ridge, the next town up?" And he said, "No, I didn't know that fella. I'm not going to that funeral." And the person he was talking to said, "But that's your brother that they're burying." And he was 40, first time that he'd heard about this man. So he ran back to Auntie Jenny, who's like right in the middle of all these kids, knows everything, and they said that that's our brother that's being buried tomorrow. She said, yeah, that is our brother. And we've got another brother and another sister who belong to our father. And when I heard this story, I was learning those words for family. And I thought, straight away, first of Uncle Jay, the youngest of 11, and you know how young ones are sensitive. And I felt for him. And then I felt for my dad, because that was his brother, but he didn't know him. Then I felt for my nan, who knew about these other kids, and supported her kids in knowing these other people, but never spoke about it herself. So language and family and feelings are all running around in my head at that time. And the only way I could make any sense of it all, or express how I felt about it, was to write this song. And I guess the preface of this song is that even though I don't know them, I know who they are, and we are connected. And it's also me singing about my connection to my grandfather, who passed away when I was 4. And, you know, that's his life and his story. And if it's his, and that's my pop, then they're mine too. So whether they're good or bad or positive or negative, it's all part of what makes us us. So this is Belong. Marriage of 30 years, she knew all along. While cooking for the shearers, this other man, another son. The youngest of her home, a favorite boy, heartbreaking for his mother, learning of her father's lover. They spent a handful of hours before they laid him down. Strangers to him, but their blood runs through his veins. Although it be in final days, they speak his name, 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 name. His name, 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 name. Little town open lies, little secrets, white lies. Vision of the desert, shrinking smaller by the day. You've a brother in this town, don't spread it around men's business for so long. There's him and 2 others who you belong. Strangers to her, but their blood runs through her veins. Although it be in final days, they speak their names, yeah. Mothers and good wives I remain, true to friends of sacrifice. So no, no. Me bere, me bere, me bere, me bere. Me bere, me bere, me bere, me bere. Karu walga. Billy, Billy do, yeah. Bere, yeah, bere. Galu garu walga bawada bidli bidli dul miyay bare miyay bare galaban garu walga bawada bidli bidli dul miyay bare miyay galaban garu walga bawada bidli bidli dul So I pieced together all his little ways. That's how I remember George's days. I'll bear the name, I'll proudly bear the name, denied to some. Brother, sister, uncle, auntie, daughter, son. Strangers to me, but their blood runs through my veins. Although it be in final days, I speak their name, speak their name, speak their name. I carry their name. Me a bere, me a bere, me a bere, me a bere. Me a bere, me a bere, me a bere, me a bere. Me a bere, me a bere, me a bere, me a bere. Me a bere, me a bere, me a bere. Thank you. The story continues. My grandmother wrote to one of these ladies, and she's 50, with some photos of our family, and the lady sent the letter back unopened. So, yeah, story continues.
As we were saying before, we're river people. River, very important place for us. It's a great place to go fishing, or a great place to go for a swim, or, as I was saying, just to sit on the banks. Thank you for listening to us. We're Stiff Tunes.
As the sun rises, so does the bush. Sounds of a western morning bring in the day.
That's right.
Down on the river, it stays quiet and still. 1,000 years of beginning that way. The river waits for me, yeah.
Cool and serene she always seems, but you have to be careful, never dive right in. She has secrets that might drag you down. But for all that, the most perfect thing is to sit on her banks, going for a swim. Cool water all around me.
The river waits for me, yeah, yeah. The river waits. I look forward to the river running again. Well, I look forward to the river running again, yeah, yeah. Grab a little squad on a fishing band where the two rivers meet.
Bait up, throw in a perfect drop with a perfect cast as you wait for the hits to begin.
No matter how far from that water I roam, I know I'll always have a life back home. And as the rains roll in and they're flowing to the brim, I hear her call to me. Another 1,000 years of banks and snags and weirs, our freshwater family.
Yeah, yeah.
I look forward to the river running again. Well, I look forward to the river running again. Yeah, yeah. Grab a little spot on the fishing where the two rivers meet. I look forward to the river running again. I look forward to the river running again. Yeah. Grab a little spot on the fishing where the two rivers meet. The river waits.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to us.